speak? Can everyone
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's some in the back that may not be able to. Some in the front may want to trade plates. Listen, thank you so much for that introduction, Jim. And I can't tell you what an honor it is for me to be here and be your speaker today. And let me echo the congratulations to each of the cadets. You are well on your way to a very successful time in life. And parents, don't you forget to take a vow for the character spirit that you have instilled in your children. And this is really serendipitous in another way today. I had an opportunity to be reacquainted with two people I served in the Navy, and Admiral Robinson, Admiral Frost, and it's good to see them here also. You know, any member of this chat could be giving this talk today. And I suspect that we might say things differently, but we probably would cover some of the basic tenets of leadership. Those tenets that have been proven over the centuries. Very easy to know and very difficult to fulfill. You know, at the MOAA, we like to get together, tell stories, reminisce about old times. Some of them are even true. But the MOAA is not just a monthly coffee clash. The mission of this particular unit is to look after the nation's future and to look after the nation's future leaders, characterized by the cadets that are with us today. Let's talk leadership. You know, many tend to think about leadership in a military context. But you know, each of us daily has leadership challenges at home, in your community, in the church, in your community, in your business. And they all test our leadership capabilities. And I don't believe that we attain leadership. I believe that leadership is a lifelong education. Making decisions, making mistakes, owning up to them, and moving on. True leaders are sustained by their character, their integrity, their decisiveness, their courage, and maybe most important, an insatiable desire to know and understand people. In the simplest terms, a good leader does three things. Understand the situation, determine the right thing to do, and then do the right thing through subordinates that have been organized and motivated to get the job done. Every Sunday, my minister gives me three things to think about. Enough to be meaningful, not too many to forget. So let's talk about three things about leadership today. Do you youngsters be ready to be the leader you can be? You never know when your skills, your leadership is going to be important. Be a reliable and observant follower for being a good follower is necessary to be a good leader. When in charge, take charge. Not in a grandiose manner, but be in charge. Throughout my career, at least most of my career, I had an old sign on my bathroom mirror. It says, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So you can be a good leader and be nice. And the best leaders are those who pick good people to do the job that needs to be done, and then stays out of their way, not meddling while they do it. One of my dictums is, don't let the person say that it can't be done get in the way of the person doing it. Depend on your team and recognize their success. Recognize their accomplishments. I went to command a guided missile destroyer back in the 70s. You all made, well, some of you all may remember we had great difficulties, at least in the Navy, with equal opportunity. And so I went aboard the Luce, and we used to call the enlisted people like Jones or Chuck Kelley or whatever. I came aboard and I started calling them petty officers. Petty Officer Smith, Petty Officer Jones. In there about 3 months, my master chief came in and said, they don't like it. I said, they don't like what? He said, they don't like being called petty officer. I said, what do they want to be called? Smith, Jones, what? Oh, huh? I said, I suppose they're going to call me Robinson. Oh, no, sir, we couldn't do that. I said, why not? He said, we have too much respect for you. And I said, that's why I call them petty officers. Pretty soon, they got where they really like being called petty officers. Leadership demands accountability. We all know this, but we too often forget it or ignore it. In 1952, there was a collision between the U.S. Navy carrier Wasp and the U.S. Navy destroyer the Hobson. Hobson was cut in two. 176 sailors lost their lives, including the commanding officer of the destroyer. The Navy, in a court of inquiry, found the commanding officer negligent of duty. There was a national outcry. How could the Navy be so heartless, so cruel, as to find fault with this commanding officer who lost his life? Hanson Baldwin was an editorial writer for the Wall Street Journal. And he wrote a column, he wrote an editorial entitled Hobson's Choice. And in that editorial, he discusses the accountability and responsibility that is accepted and required by a commanding officer of a ship at sea. Well worth your time to read if you have the opportunity. Few of us have any decisions to make that have that sense of finality that they did on the Hobson. But Hanson Baldwin's words still pertain today. Now, you don't have time to read that, but remember what Waylon Jennings said. There's no right way to do the wrong thing. Communication. They're not always what they seem to be. And in life, there are few things more difficult than communicating your intent and your purpose to someone else. I don't care if it's in a battle situation or you're just talking to a friend. Very, very tough to do. And as we discussed a minute ago, your demeanor, your trustfulness, your adherence to your word all play into how you are perceived. And talking about communication, Will Rogers pretty well hit it on the head when he said, if you're riding in front of the herd, it helps periodically to look back and see that it's still there. But be alert for what you say is not interpreted the way you want. My last tour in the Navy, I had what's called a quarterdeck. It's an entranceway into my headquarters. Sort of like, you go into a bank building and there's people there to tell you what to do and sometimes how to do it. And I lived about 4 miles away, and I loved to ride a bicycle. And so I was riding my bicycle to work every day. It wasn't a difficult ride, but it was good for the soul. And most important, I was showing those youngsters that the old guy still had it in him. And there's a wonderful thing about the human mind. After age 40, it lets you think you still look good in those little spandex shorts. So every morning I would come in, I'd say hi to the guys over here at the quarterdeck. I'd put my bike in the closet, go up, take a shower, start my day. My gate was in charge of that quarterdeck. So he went down there. I'd been there about a month. He went down there and said, "Is everything all right?" "Oh, yes, sir." First class petty officer, everything's always okay when you're talking to a JG. "Oh, yes, sir, everything's fine." No questions here. You don't need anything here. Over the corner, the Seaman Deuce. Been in the Navy maybe 10 weeks, 15 weeks. He said, "Yes, sir, I got it." He said, "What's that, Seaman?" He said, "Who's the old guy comes in every day acting like the young?" So there's 2 lessons there. One, I was not communicating what I saw, but maybe more important, that young man had a question, and he asked it. And that we should always remember, when you have a question, you ought to ask it. So there you go. 3 tenets of leadership that I feel are useful. My intent was not to tell these youngsters today how to be a leader. They're proven leaders. My intent today was hopefully to give them something that will help them as they gain seniority and accountability and responsibilities in their future life. So those are 3 things. Be ready. You will encounter situations crying out for your leadership. Be faithful to the accountability that has been entrusted to you, and be dedicated to ensuring that your communications are as lucid and correct as you can possibly make them. I join with the other members of the MOAA wishing each of you an absolute success in your future endeavors. You're off to a great start. Thanks very much.